In this video, we're going to learn how to design the blocks editor portion of the number match app. And we're going to be building it inside the 2-tab template. Our first step will be to go to My Blocks and then click on button 1, and we will have a when function. So when we click button 1, something will happen. And what we want to happen is we're going to have it call the check function, which is a procedure. So the purple functions are a procedure. So it's going to call the check procedure, and it's going to have the argument which button. And we're going to go to math and the 1, 2, 3, which basically just gives a number. And we're going to rename that 1. So when we click button 1, it's going to call the check procedure, and it's going to have the argument which button, and the answer to that argument will be 1. Up next, we need to look at the check procedure. So what this will do is when it comes in with the call from the buttons, it will check the number that was associated with which button. And now it has a test here, and the test is whether the text equals. So what do we want the text to equal? We want it to equal the value, which we put at the top of the screen. And if you remember this, we named it the value. It was our label value target. And we just want that to be the text for the label value target. And we're going to put that there. So that means that when the buttons funnel into the check procedure will check which button, so the number of the button, and it will see if that matches the label value target, which is the number that we had at the top of the screen. Next, we have the then do and else do. So if the text is equal to the target, so if we click the correct button, that will go into the then do. If we click the incorrect button, it will go into the else do, because the text does not equal the target. And finally, at the end, we will have this procedure funnel into the new number procedure, which will change the label value target, so the target number that we have at the top of the screen, into a new number. So now let's take a look at our then do and else do functions. So the first step will be that we want for the then do to set the label value correct text. So we're going to change that to, and we need a addition function. And we want it to be the label value correct text plus the number 1. So we want it to go up by 1. Now how this is working here is that this set the label value correct is basically saying that we want to set the label for the value of the correct number. So basically make that number next to the correct label go up by 1. So we take the old label value and we add 1 to it. So for the else do, we do exactly the same thing, except we use the label value incorrect, and we make the incorrect go up by 1. Finally, once we're done with the check function, this will lead into the call new number. So this means that once we have done all of our checking on whether the person got it right or wrong, we want it to come up with a new number. So how we'll do this is we'll go to label value target, and we'll get the set label value target text, and now we want under math a random integer from and we want the number 1, and you can copy paste to make another one, and now we're going to set this one to 6. So now it's going to give a random integer between 1 and 6 for the new text. Finally, we need the app to call the new number procedure on startup, so we'll put a call new number on our screen when initialize. And we also need to put in the programming for the skip button. So you can find that under button skip, and we have button skip click. So when we click the skip button, now there's two different parts of this. We want it to give you a new number if you skip it, and 2, we want it to increase the number for the label value of skipped by 1. So basically we want it to keep track of how many times you're skipping. This is exactly the same as the programming for the increasing in correct or incorrect. So I'll let you figure out how to do this one. Also, to finish, we need our last buttons. So we just need to program in our 6 buttons. It's relatively easy. All we need to do is copy them and paste them, and with a new button number, and changing this number to the same number as the button. And from there we should have a finished and working app.